All right. All right. Welcome back to Political Soul Food, y'all. We're about to get down. Tonight's topic is black athletes and performers giving back to the black community. We're talking about black athletes and performers giving back to the black communities. Much to say about that. There's a lot that I want to chime in on. But it's time to let you all get in here before I unleash the enthusiasm on this topic here, and also some pet peeves on this issue. There's some pet peeves that I got where people have been talking about our black brothers and sisters in this struggle here in the United States of America and throughout the world. So load up, get ready, spread the word. About to get started on another episode of Political Soul Food. Let's make this happen. All right, we're going to talk about black athletes and black performers giving back to the black community. This topic is one of my favorites. It's one of my favorites because I get to say some stuff under some protective covering. Especially, I mean, y'all know that, I support my boy Barack Obama. And a lot of people have been fronting about him and fronting about, like, what he has been doing or hasn't done for the black community. And so, I'll probably, like, save that entire topic for another occasion and just address it directly on another occasion. But I'm going to chime in on it frequently because there's a lesson that I think we have to learn, at least some of us who have been naively critical. It's okay to be critical about every person, no matter who they are. Obviously, we want people to do the right thing on our behalf. Even if we don't know them, we want people just to do the right thing. But there's something I want to get into within the black community. So first things first, I want to shout out some of the African Americans or Africans or our brothers and sisters and the different layers of the diaspora, the different dimensions and different shades of the black and brown community. I want to give them their props. Many are doing what they can in the way they understand the issue to be to make progress. And we got to shout them out. We have to shout them out. And the reason why I say we got to shout them out, let me just pull up something here. So I want to get this right, what I'm about to say. Right. So there's a book called Stolen Legacies by George G.M. James. And it basically talks about how the Greeks have adopted, robbed, repatented contributions to civilization from Egyptians, from Africa. And so I wanted to say to some people that some of our legacies are not stolen. Some of them we default on, we don't take care of, we don't preserve, or we're completely unaware of what's going on our behalf. And I think for many people, Obama's legacy or Obama's presidency is an ignored legacy. Not to everybody, but for a lot of people that I know. And there are other people, other individuals, and other situations, not just about Barack Obama, although I'm bringing him up because I think he's very significant. So anyway, I just wanted to lead off with this, that all of our legacies are not stolen, especially if we're not taking the time to chronicle them, to put them in our annals of the black experience, of black progress, of the black struggle. If we're able to easily dismiss or overlook and ignore or just be naive about certain things, then we got some real issues. We could talk about the people who wear the hoodies all day long. We could talk about people who wear the MAGA hats all day long if we want to, but we still got to do some house cleaning. So I want to talk about house cleaning, but the way to do it, the way I want to talk about house cleaning, is not saying, hey, you need to do this, you need to do that. Obviously, there's some books I would recommend that all of us read. But more importantly, I want to praise, exalt, show off some people who are doing what they can do, and then talk about what that means, what the struggle, how difficult the struggle is, by looking at what people are doing and being able to acknowledge what they're doing that is successful, and probably what they need to work on to improve, to increase the impact, the positive impact on the targeted society. You feel me with that? All right. So I want to start off with somebody. I want to start off with somebody I'm sure all of you know, and that is LeBron James. So you know about LeBron James. And what's up, bro? And LeBron James, right, an amazing athlete, amazing football player, but he's also an amazing black man who cares about the conditions of the black community. So he decided to invest in a black community that is close to home for him. And that is a model, right? That is sort of this kind of Wakandan declaration, right? To give back. Can I put it in that sense? The Wakandan pledge to give back. That's how I see it. Building these little Wakandas all over in the way that you can. So LeBron James opens up a school called I Promise. I Promise School in Ohio, which offers lunch, uniforms, and all sorts of supplies that kids need. That schools are unfortunately too underfunded to receive, and we got to give him his props. I mean, this is an athlete who is adored by many, who could have easily been blinded by his success, his well-earned success. You feel what I'm saying here? We got to acknowledge that. Now, that's probably an easy one because people were already feeling LeBron, right? But we want to make sure we acknowledge him and acknowledge exactly what he's doing. So let me just read some things that are going on here. So this school is open to 240 academically at risk third and fourth graders, and the whole idea is to expand over time. And look at where he's targeting. He's targeting our young brothers and sisters who are at risk. All right, and that doesn't mean that we leave out people who seem to have better chances, but the whole idea is to get back to that village and help redirect some of the resources that any one of us have managed to accumulate over time. And so that's big. That's huge. Let me read something that he said here. He said, "This school is so important to me because our vision is to create a place for the kids in Akron who need it most. Those that could fall through the cracks if we don't do something." Yo, that is awesome. You know how many of us fall through the cracks? I fell through the cracks. Luckily for me, there were some safety nets. There were men and women in my community, especially in my chess community, who provided, a place where I can go and be surrounded by positivity and be protected by people who understand the viciousness of our society. And one of my, I would call role models here, soul brother Jerome is here. All right, he's been a role model in the black community for decades, and he's an excellent chess player. And guys like him have made my community a place that I can traverse because he was there at certain checkpoints for not just me but many others. Just being there, just being a positive black man, and leading and living by example. And that's what we need more of at every station, because otherwise young brothers like myself could easily fall through the cracks. So he continues, "We've learned over the years that what works and what motivates them, and now we can bring all of that together in one place along with the right resources and experts. If we get to them early enough, we can hopefully keep them on the right track to a bigger and brighter future for themselves and their families." So what I liked about this is it's like healthcare preventative measures, right? Listen, we know what the society is like as adults, so let's get real, right? Let's try to equip our students. Let's give them their shots, in a sense. Let's provide them with the materials that they need, with the psychological, emotional, and physical support that they need, right? And so I'm magnifying what LeBron James is doing so that we can see what we can do in our own places and spaces, right? There are a lot of us slipping through the cracks for one reason or another. Block those cracks, fill them up, put nets in them, redirect those who are coming towards the cracks in the way that you can. So there's a lot. There's a lot more we can read on with LeBron James and his I Promise School. I urge you to do that. But I wanted to shout out LeBron James for number one right now, and his school, which opened recently. And so keep your eyes on that, support that, talk about it, brag about it, and be critical about it. If there's some things that we think can be better, can voice that. But at the end of the day, we have to at least be aware of it and support it. All right. So LeBron James is one. Let's go to someone else. I want to go to Nelly. It's getting hot in here. I want to take my clothes off. Y'all know that song, right? Yes, your boy Nelly. Believe it or not, your boy Nelly is on my list for a good reason. Let's pull up Nelly here. Where you at, Nelly? Let me get Nelly up in here. Rapper Nelly uses college scholarships to elevate black community. Now this is important. I bring up Nelly because, all right, it's easy to write him off if you don't know anything about him. And this is another implicit point I'm making that I'm going to come back to. Somebody said Akon. Yo, GD Stokes, why you blowing up my spot? I'm saving Akon for last, bro. I'm definitely going to get back to Akon for sure. So Nelly, I want to bring out Nelly because Nelly got a lot of slack when the Mike Brown tragedy occurred. All right. Black Lives Matter jumped off. A lot of activists were jumping, to the front lines, marching and protesting. For sure, that's what we need. But they were coming after Nelly. And I understand, because you want all hands on deck. You want everybody, especially Nelly being from St. Louis, it's like, yo, you need to be here for the fight. And people started coming after him, tearing him down, not knowing what he's been about way before they even thought to be activists or to be vocal or to start doing things for those who don't have the means and resources to do more. All right. So let me just point out a few things that Nelly did. All right. Point out two main things that he did. So one of the things he did was he created a scholarship fund in Michael Brown's name. All right. And it was, something to acknowledge the injustice, but it was also geared at making positive change to move forward, creating opportunities for our students, for our kids, to not get caught in those places and spaces, or at least to reduce the chances of that happening. Because as we all know, we can dot the I, we can cross the T, you can put on a bow tie, and you can speak, proper English, pronouncing all of your syllables and diphthongs, and still get shot, and still not get the job that you deserve. So we understand that, respectability politics can go but so far, right? And I'm not discounting it. I mean, do what you got to do. But what Nelly wanted to do was say, let me find something that I'm aware of and I think it can help to make progress. And one of the ways to make progress is to invest in the youth, the individuals who are being preyed on by our justice system, by this racist society. Okay, so he's helping to create opportunities, because once you tap into the mind of the youth and you electrify them with ideas, whether it's a chess game. I mean, you should check out kids who learn how to play chess. The young brothers and sisters. I mean, it's almost as if they're like possessed. They're just looking at a chessboard. They're reading books. They're playing games, speed games, game after game, game after game, game after game, game after game, or playing in tournaments, maybe 2-hour tournaments, or even if it's ball, or even if whatever they're doing, if you can tap into that passion with opportunity, then that's like half the battle, if not 90% of it, because they're going to take that opportunity to the next level. And I see Nelly is doing such a thing, or implementing such a strategy. Here's what Nelly says. I try to do it through education because that's the only way we're going to get it. The only way we're going to get this is to elevate. We have to get the kids to go out of these communities, graduate, get the knowledge, come back to the community, and then they can run it because they understand the people and understand the severity of the situation. Woo! You hear your boy Nelly? I mean, that could easily have been Obama or somebody. You know what I'm saying? Easily have been Obama. Martin Luther King. Easily have been some positive, typical black politician or activist or preacher, minister, or social worker. Easily. And that's our boy Nelly. Give him his props. Give him his props. He's a boot on the ground. Unbelievable. Give him his props. Nelly needs to get some props for that. So he got the Mike Brown scholarship set up, but that's not it. And I'm gonna have to move a little quicker because we're pressed for time. That's not even it. For about a decade, you know what your boy Nelly was doing? He was helping to send at least 2 students to college. He was sending at least 2 students to college for the past 10 years on the low. On the low. And this is really important because this has been Obama style. And a lot of people say Obama hasn't done nothing for the black community. He didn't do not one thing. You have a lot of guys, Dr. Umar Johnson, for example, is perpetuating this nonsense. Even Cornel West, unfortunately. And the only thing that most people know are something like My Brother's Keeper, which is phenomenal. But, people don't know much else. They don't know about Obama signing the black farmers, reparation bill, which was like $1.2 billion. They don't understand who the target audience for the Fair Sentencing Act. It was for black and brown people who were sentenced unjustly. They don't even know that Obama gave. People go, oh, wait a minute, Obama signed for reparations for Jews, and they don't even know that Obama gave, I think it was about like $93 million to Flint. And if we don't know those things, guess what? The money didn't get to Flint because no one knew to support that and press, who was it, Governor Snyder, to get that money. So they kept it on the hush. And once we lost the Senate, and once Obama, once Hillary didn't win the election, they waited till everything rot out, and they let us commit our own, acts of cannibalism against ourselves, and they got rid of the money because we knew not. And I can go on and on and on. So let me just leave that alone. So we got to know. We have to try to find out. And I think we should be a little slower in trying to cut each other down. Just do a little research and say, well, let me see, because you know what? There's different styles of activism. There's different styles of helping the community. Some may be a little bit more hesitant. Some might not really be about, certain aggressive measures or certain kinds of measures to help. Maybe, it's kind of surprising. You have an actor, you have a rapper doing it through education. That's really interesting. We have an athlete and rappers doing it through education. Some may do it through business opportunities. Some may be more vocal about it and like to hoop and holler, and others might just say, listen, I don't want to be in a newspaper. And so let me read this last line. This is from a piece that I got here. To critics who have rebuked him, Nelly, for his lack of vocal support for the events at Ferguson, the hot in here rapper asserts that sometimes it's better to do things quietly. So that's what I'm talking about. That's the real deal. Those are the real G's. The Nellys, the Obamas, the LeBrons, and many others. Those are the real G's. Because they ain't the ones bragging. But we have to be aware of that, or else we'll be shooting each other down and passing on the legacy. Like I said before, all our legacies are not stolen. All right, so let me go through a couple of more. Y'all feel where I'm coming from up in here? I mean, seriously, do y'all feel what I'm talking about? I saw my boy J.D. Stokes says the money never got to Flint. Yeah, the money never got to Flint. And nobody ever knew that the money was available for Flint. As the president of the United States, he was able to allot some funds, but then that thing got to trickle down. And people got to vote for that. That's why voting in the midterms and local elections is possible. You want to, cry about Obama and you got a Republican governor who ain't even trying to hear him, please. So, I think we're learning. So let me just keep it moving. I want to shout out my girl, Queen Latifah. She's up next. Queen Latifah, another performer. So let's see. Where you at, Latifah? Let's get Latifah up in here. Here we go. So Queen Latifah, so she's doing it through a different route, right? Our boy LeBron, Nelly, they were like, yo, we want to support the schools. In fact, let me just throw P. Diddy up in there. P. Diddy's doing the same thing. He got a school over in East Harlem. That was his thing. Queen Latifah is like, all right, y'all got the school thing set up. Well, I'm going to do the housing, do the community, do the block thing. And so she's helping to create affordable income housing in Newark, right? And so she's co-president of Sugar Corporation. Now, maybe you knew, but now you know. Again, are we supporting them? Because people go, black people don't do nothing for each other, this, that, and the third. And we have many. I mean, I'm just giving a sample. I can't talk about this all day, every day. Maybe I should. I should just, what? So many, and you can just do a podcast only on black brothers and sisters trying to make a difference. And then, letting people know who's doing what. So she's setting up affordable housing, and she's not the only one who was doing that in this vein. A homeboy from Newark, Shaquille O'Neal, returned home to invest money. So this is we gotta give them some props. We gotta give them some props. And I love how all of this happened. People say, well, what's the impact of the Obama administration? I just think that, like, symbolically, because symbolism is very important, like how you see the world, how you see yourself, how you define yourself, how you define your role, how you define your purpose, how you dress, how you speak, all these things, right? These are acts of symbol that translate meaning or communicate meaning to others. And then sometimes we develop meaning by seeing other people travel down certain roads, or achieve certain goals that we thought were impossible. Just opening up our eyes in ways, to things that we've never seen before as possibilities. And so a lot of this flood we're seeing in the political realm, our homegirl Stacey Abrams, Andrew Gillum, Jermaine Williams. We had Jermaine Williams running. We had who's my boy, Michael Blake, and Don Smalls running for public advocate. Like, our brothers and sisters, they're just rising, but they need our help. So I can go on and on and on, right? So Shaquille O'Neal, and let me throw in T.I., because I don't have much time to go over everybody. T.I. is buying up the block. Got a company, I think it's called Buy Back the Block or something. Even he's investing in all of this. Are we acknowledging that? Are we aware of that? These are our brothers and sisters stepping up. Now, you're not going to find all of this on CNN or in the Washington Post. You'll find, some of it. It's not going to be like, oh, who hollering. The same way the things that, Obama has done, you're not going to find the things that our brothers and sisters or anybody's doing for the working class, or for black and brown people in particular. In this case, you're not going to see a lot of that stuff being echoed. We have to do that work for ourselves, or else it's not even a matter of a stolen legacy, right? It's a defaulted legacy, one that we haven't invested in or taken care of or curated. We have to curate this legacy this day and age, because these folks need our support, our vocal support. Not only that, they need our financial support, and they need our voting support. All right, so let me move on. I did Queen Latifah, and my boy my boy G.D. Stokes already beat me to the punch. He pulled out Nelly. So let me see here. Let me get Nelly up in here. Not Nelly. Who was it? Akon. He brought up Akon, and so quickly with Akon. I mean, Akon took it to a whole nother level. I mean, he was setting up like solar energy and business opportunities in Africa. I think he set up shop in Mali and some other places. I mean, Akon just went real philanthropic on us. Do we know? Yo, all right. I ain't trying to pick a fight, but I'm gonna keep it real. Other people keep it real. Why should I keep it real? I try to be nice and diplomatic and stuff. So, like, brother Umar Johnson, Dr. Umar Johnson. He called Obama like the face of white supremacy, the black face of white supremacy, all this stuff, and talking about all the coons and whoever else out here. Now, he raised mad money, hundreds of thousands of dollars for a school years ago. People don't know where this school is at, and I don't even know if they even found the money. Right, so he dropped some facts in terms of the negative messages that a lot of rappers are perpetuating. True. But to cut them down as if they are agents, like they were willful agents of a systemic and racist regime, is wrong. We have brothers and sisters who have found ways and means, the best they could, to survive. And yes, many of us have slipped in sort of the capitalist mindset to, in this dog eats dog world. But this was because of the scenario and conditions that they were in. But to try to undermine them like that, across the board, like, you're the only saint, you're the only one. Like you have no failings. Now, I'm not trying to cut him down too much because I feel that his heart is in the right place for our people. Although he has to tone down that homophobia, he needs to get over that. But we have a bunch of people that he is targeting, even trying to ostracize from the community, of black activists or people who have black love for black people. These are individuals who are giving back. We need to acknowledge that while we discuss each other's flaws, right? And this whole list that I gave about these individuals, I can do it for Obama. Most black people I run into, unfortunately, can't even do that. And they got the nerves to talk about others. I'm bamboozled, and you don't even know what your community is doing right in front of you, right underneath your noses. Come on. So anyway, I'm gonna chill here before I get real crazy. But I just want to do some inventory. I'm gonna try to do this maybe like once a month, maybe once every 2 months, and just do a checkup because we need to know who's out here doing what they can do. And if you feel that they're not doing it properly, do it better, or send them a letter and say, listen, bro, this is what needs to be done. But this is something that I think we all should do every once in a while. Just do some research and say who's doing what. It's not just Oprah. Okay, there are other people out here, and they're doing it in different ways. Some through housing, some through education, others through business, small businesses. Others through starting opportunities for African Americans to become professionals. Right? We need businesses, but we don't need a bunch of Pathmarks or black corner stores. It'd be good to have a bunch of black corner stores, but we need some black doctors, right? Some black professors and historians, like Dr. Marshall up in here. We need some Latinas up in here in politics. We need some Latinas, in the business world. We need Latinas in the medical world. We need some Latinas and black people on stage and acting. We need everybody everywhere. All right, this is how we develop a community of. These are the building blocks of a civilization. All right, so it's not just somebody being rich, right? So you want to support in different ways. People are going to support in different ways, right? Because Damon Dash, right? He was kind of getting on my nerves too a little bit. I feel him. It's like it's about the business, this and the third, and if you have a boss, like not everybody's going to be a millionaire at this point. In that way, and not everybody has to be a millionaire to be effective. Some people without millionaires could do other things and contribute in other ways to society in a more meaningful way. Maybe come up with a cure for asthma or something like that, right? How about that? So there's so many ways to help black folk, to help the world. And you help black people, you're helping the world. So if I say I help black folk, I'm not just excluding other people. I just know automatically anybody who helps black people is helping the entire world. So let's just get that straight, just in case some people come after me later on the podcast, because I'm streaming on YouTube and Facebook at the same time, and they stay up there on YouTube. Kassan Henry, that's the archive. So if you miss a show or you want to share the show or the link, just go to YouTube. Kassan Henry, same as IG. So there's just so many ways to do things. It don't have to be on the news. It could be through a conversation. You know how many conversations saved my life? Just like people, older brothers and sisters, like just putting me on how to respond to situations, or how not to feel so discouraged that I just check out and not live up to my potential. You'd be surprised at the lives you can change. So while I'm showing and talking about and bragging about black athletes and performers are doing their thing, then I'm really just saying that these are models. These are people who are doing what they can do in their own realm. Before I leave, I gotta holler at Beyonce, and Beyonce is doing her thing too. Beyonce's my girl. I don't care what nobody say. I'm probably gonna just do a whole show on Beyonce. Formation, y'all. Seriously, people front on Beyonce. I mean, I won't go as far as and say like she's like Michael Jackson or whatever like that, but she's definitely up there. But let me bring up Beyonce, my homegirl Beyonce. Where you at? All right, so she was setting up, I believe, like scholarships for and helping fund HBCUs, and that's historically black colleges and universities, just in case. So let me see. Let me pull up something here just to give Beyonce a quick shout out. I gotta give her a quick shout out. Um, gotta give her a quick shout out. No matter what. No, I don't care what nobody say. Um, so yeah, she has this new scholarship program for historically black colleges. It's through her Bay Good initiative. Now she's been doing things for a minute. Beyonce's been doing things for a minute. I don't even have time to even talk about it. People, again, she's not going to be your Angela Davis. That's not Angela Davis. Not everybody's going to be in the same way. Martin Luther King wasn't uh, Malcolm X. Malcolm X wasn't Adam Clayton Powell. Adam Clayton Powell wasn't Joseph Jackson. We have these different archetypes, and it's because of circumstances. We can get into the social conditions that shape different kinds of black politics and black activism. Right? Of course, Du Bois being in Massachusetts, in a place that was less tense than the South that Booker T. Washington grew up in. Where Booker T. Washington was like, yo, the best thing is to keep your head down and just work, make that money, and work with the white folks. And of course, Du Bois is going to be like, listen, man, we can get our doctorate degrees, we can move and shake this society. Let's vote. Others say, no, let's not vote. But obviously, where they were. So what we need to do is look at everybody and learn from everybody, help everybody. If one person is not doing things that will help you, you don't need to stop them from helping somebody else. You know what I'm saying? So listen, we gotta shut down here. But thanks for tuning in to Political Soul Food. We're gonna be on again. I'm gonna try to go on tomorrow. Or over the weekend. Normally we do Monday to Thursday. Yo, please spread the word, chime in, send me messages or whatever. If you want to support this venture, check out Patreon, patreon.com/Kassan Henry. Check out different ways you can support this whole platform here. In any case, yo, go out there in this world and do your thing. I need you. Most importantly, support society, support our youth, support our elders. Try to do the best you can. All right, without tripping up somebody else. All right, peace and love. IG, take it easy. All right, peace out. Facebook.